Sometimes it's sad being a doctor or a healthcare worker. I mean, I have seen patients die in front of me, patients die in front of their loved ones, and I've worked on people who have passed away. But this case is probably one of the most heart-wrenching cases that I've ever taken care of. Now, I'm on an inpatient pediatric rotation, and being in family medicine, I do take care of kids, but I've never taken care of super sick kids in a hospital. And I decided to take a patient, and this is a fairly healthy 9-year-old with no medical history, smart, tons of friends, loves playing soccer, who just happened to wake up one day and have an inability to look straight. His mom called a telemedicine doctor who told her to go to the emergency department. When they arrived in the emergency department, they got a scan of his brain, and there was a large tumor. Now, this tumor sits in the crossover of your optic nerves. So your nerves from your eyes start in the back of your brain, come forward, and then cross. And right in the center of that cross is what's called your pineal gland, and that's where the tumor was. Now, they sent him to this hospital, which is one of the best inpatient pediatric hospitals in Florida with some of the best neurosurgeons. And there's one of two options. Number one, you let the tumor grow. It causes a mass effect that will end up killing the kid, or you resect it and treat it with chemotherapy. Now, that's a really tough choice for mom. You have this really healthy kid that's just suddenly very sick, and the only option is a major surgery. So she decides to do what's best and gets the tumor removed. And this kid had zero health problems. But after his surgery, now he's different. From super healthy to nonverbal, not able to communicate very well. Both of his eyes are deviated down and out, and his pupils are minimally reactive. He has a lot of inflammation, and I can't imagine the amount of pain that he is in. And yesterday, I met him for the first time. And like any patient, no matter what condition, no matter where they're at in their life, I always go in with a ton of enthusiasm, encouragement, and support. So I walked in the room and I said, "Hey, my name is Johnny, and I'm going to be your doctor." And he looks at me with his one eye, and he tracks me across the room, but he doesn't respond. In the moment that I laid eyes on him, I just knew in my heart that he needed a massive amount of prayer and spiritual support, because I can't imagine what this little boy is going through. And as great as medicine is, and as great as physicians have to be to treat this stuff, sometimes a little bit of prayer goes a long ways. So I told him, I said, "Listen, I don't know if you know God, but God knows you, and he wants to heal you of everything you have going on." And I asked him, "Is it okay if I pray for you?" And he's laying in bed with his arms under his blanket. He takes his one arm out, puts it on his chest, takes his other arm out, and crosses his fingers. And I just prayed for massive healing in Jesus' name over this young man. I thought about this kid all night, and the next day I got to meet his mom, who was not having an easy time because her little boy was no longer himself, and she was struggling. And like any time any patient or any family member is struggling, I always ask if they have any faith. I always ask the question, do you have faith, and who do you have faith in? And she answered, "I do have faith, and I have faith in the Lord." And I just said to her, "Listen, I'm raining so many prayers for you, for him, and your family." And she just let go. And as hard as this case is, this is a testament of God and true purpose for me as a physician. Because as sad and heart-wrenching that this case is, I know in my heart that God placed me on this planet to do this, to be the light, during the dark times, to be the encourager, to be the one who's supportive. And this case is wearing on me, certainly, but I do have full faith that God will heal this young boy. In cases like this, make me so grateful for the small things in my life and continue to encourage me to continue to pray, lay my hands on, and heal my patients and anyone who needs it. So I hope this is a word of encouragement and hopefully maybe a wake-up call, because as bad as your time may be right now, it could always be worse. But that's why you have to have faith. And just because things are not going your way doesn't always mean it's going to be like that forever. So put your faith into a God who loves you and knows every single hair on your head. God bless.